Heavy industry leadership is hitting a wall. The sheer volume of operational data flowing through modern manufacturing plants is overwhelming the traditional ways we process and act on that information. For decades, the standard has been the pipeline model. This is a linear progression through siloed departments. Performance in a pipeline scales in exactly one way, by adding more headcount. And because manual analysis takes time, the entire system suffers from severe latency. This animated diagram illustrates the necessary alternative, the network model. On the left is the sequential human-centric pipeline. On the right, the architecture is reconfigured into cross-functional nodes, where both human experts and specialized AI agents operate in continuous cycles. Adding AI tools to an existing pipeline preserves the original bottlenecks. Driving real results involves replacing that linear structure with a networked value architecture. To achieve nonlinear scaling, an organization must transition away from a human-centric operating model and build a hybrid business model. Integrating AI agents without destabilizing core operations is a matter of strict structural design. It requires building a framework systematically, block by block. This graphic represents the hybrid business model design, or HBMD framework. It consists of 5 tiers. The bottom 4 blocks make up the Betriebsmodell, the operating model. The top block is the Geschäftsmodell, the business model itself. The distinction here is critical. The first 4 layers define exactly how the company functions, makes decisions, and delivers work. They optimize operations, but it is only the 5th layer that alters the revenue logic and dictates how the company actually earns its money. Capturing platform revenue depends on a reconfigured internal operating engine. We start with block 1, value architecture. The foundational design question is simple. Where exactly does value emerge within the organization? In manufacturing, value flows through 3 specific process chains, as shown here. The framework expands into performance to market, or PTM, performance to customer, PTC, and networked service processes, VSP. These are not isolated departments like engineering or sales. They are continuous chains of interlocked activities that take initial inputs and transform them into outputs for the customer. Under this new architecture, the boundaries and interfaces between these 3 chains must be strictly mapped out. This allows each complete chain to become a distinct ownership object, rather than a fragmented set of tasks. These defined borders provide the specific context and data limits an agent needs to operate. Without these interfaces, autonomous agents cannot distinguish their specific area of responsibility from the rest of the organization. With the chains defined, we move to block 2, the hybrid operating model. Now we must answer the question, who makes the decisions within these chains? Instead, each of the 3 chains is assigned one dedicated hybrid team. In this diagram, we see the rigid division of labor within that team. On the left, humans manage scope and trade-offs. On the right, AI agents provide options and simulation. The human responsibilities are strictly defined. Humans set the overarching scope, define the acceptable trade-offs, establish the operational guardrails, and manage any exceptions or direct customer relationships. In parallel, specialized AI agents take on execution. They handle autonomous routine processing, real-time flow optimization, generating strategic options, and executing detailed planning based on the human guardrails. End-to-end accountability now rests entirely on these stable, mixed human-agent teams, bypassing the old fragmented management structures. Next is block 3, the value creation method. We have a hybrid team, but we need to ensure they generate outputs systematically without descending into operational chaos. This chart shows the intelligence loop, a framework rooted in the academic rigor of the DIN EN 12973 value analysis standard. It sequences 7 distinct phases: purpose, sense, interpret, decide, govern, orchestrate, and learn. In the first half of the loop, humans establish the core purpose and constraints. Agents continuously sense data signals from the environment. Together, the human-agent team collaborates to interpret that context and decide on the best available options. The second half manages action. Governance gates ensure safety and budget compliance before agents step in to orchestrate execution. Finally, the results feed directly into the learn phase for continuous improvement. This rigid loop prevents AI from acting as an unpredictable black box. It turns traditional static value analysis into a real-time, highly transparent operational engine. That brings us to Block 4, execution and governance. This defines how the theoretical intelligence loop is actually delivered on the ground. Agent autonomy must be highly structured to be safe. Work is managed in defined sprint phases via a strict handoff chain, visualized here in 5 steps: to do, queue, in progress, review, and done. Notice the explicit roles assigned below each step. In Step 3, agents work autonomously on tasks marked in progress, but they only do so after humans have strictly controlled the input in Step 2, the queue phase. Crucially, look at Step 4, the review phase. This is a mandatory human-in-the-loop gate. A human must explicitly approve the agent's work before it passes into the final phase for delivery. This strict governance structure ensures every output has a named recipient. It guarantees no rogue AI actions occur, and no completed work vanishes into the void. We have now completed the first 4 blocks. Up to this point, we have modernized the operating model, but we haven't changed the underlying economics of the business. That changes with Block 5, value capture. This diagram shows the moment the operating model officially becomes a new business model. The final block snaps into place, triggering a 3-stage evolution, from product to services, and finally to as-a-service or platform models. In Stage 1, the manufacturer is still reliant on transactional one-off machine sales. In Stage 2, they begin monetizing the new transparency and speed of their hybrid teams by offering product-led services, like value analysis as a service. Stage 3 is the ultimate objective. Leveraging the capabilities of the hybrid system enables the manufacturer to offer automation as a service and pure platform subscriptions, securing recurring revenue streams. This transformation shifts the focus from departmental IT costs to enterprise-wide revenue strategy. The end goal is a model sustained by recurring subscriptions. Theory must eventually meet reality, and the reality is that attempting to transform an entire enterprise all at once is a reliable recipe for failure. Instead, execution begins with the 30-day pilot sprint, depicted in this blueprint. It isolates a single process chain, placing a small, dedicated hybrid team directly at its center, ready for immediate deployment. The constraints of this pilot are absolute. You select exactly one process chain, you build exactly one hybrid team, and run one single intelligence loop. The sole purpose of these 30 days is to prove a measurable business case and establish an empirical baseline. You must prove the system works on a micro level before attempting a wider rollout. True industrial transformation begins by mastering a single, scalable hybrid loop. You establish the discipline first, and then you scale the success, not the complexity.